with a bang this weekend as Bryce Young led #1 Alabama to a 44-13 win over Miami. The second-year player completed 27 of 38 attempts for 344 yards and threw 4 touchdowns, setting a record for touchdown passes by a Bama quarterback in his first career start. But meanwhile, Spencer Rattler's Heisman campaign got off to a shaky start as #2 Oklahoma barely beat unranked Tulane. Rattler threw 2 interceptions, including 1 just the second play of the game before settling down a bit and scoring 2 touchdowns. So, Shannon, I start with you. How much better did your Crimson Tide look over Skip's Sooners?
Skip, look, it's early. It's the first game of the season.
Definitely early.
But Bama looked better. They bring back 8 starters on defense, and that's going to be the strong suit. If you can believe that or not, I believe that's going to be the strong suit of this football team. The offensive line is not what it once was. Neal is obviously a lot of Mel Kiper and Todd McShay got him top 10 pick. He looks to be as good as advertised, but they're not the dominant, be able to just blow people off the ball like they did in years past. Bryce Young looked really good. They got receivers that can make plays, that get their hand on the ball. They're tremendous run after the catch. So they're going to be Bama. You know, they got a easy game this week, and then they go to Florida. They got games at Texas A&M. They got LSU. That's a rivalry game. So let's not count them. Let's not count LSU out just yet. Bama scored on 8 of 10 possession. Bryce Young, 344, 4 touchdowns. Took care of the football. Oklahoma. You told me the defense is going to be much improved. That's what you told me.
Yep.
And I'm looking, I said, okay, they're going to be much improved. Tulane? You know, Tulane was picked to finish 7th in their own conference. Tulane does not have the caliber of players that Oklahoma. I'm not so sure if that game had been played in Tulane, it might have been a different outcome, Skip.
You could be right about that.
But, hey, you guys found a way to win. That he should have had 3 interceptions. They called 1.
It was pass interference.
On your guy. It should have been pass interference on your guy. But anyway, Alabama look good. They Bama. You know what Alabama does, and you need to get on the bandwagon. Now, I'm going to give you one opportunity. This is a one-time only. You can get on the bus with Bama and say, bye-bye, Oklahoma. I'm sorry, but I got to do this.
I'm going to let that bus just run right over me.
Okay. Just say I didn't offer.
But I will give you this. After 1 week and 1 eye test, Bama is back in business. They reloaded. They are loaded.
They are.
The quarterback didn't look good to me. He looked great.
Looked sensational.
I loved his poise. I loved his composure. I loved his body language maturity on the field because he was not afraid. And he took the game over with an arm that is plenty strong. It's not like a cannon arm, but it's a nice arm, and it was a deadly accurate arm. The only issue for Bryce Young is I think he's only about 5'11".
He's very frailly built.
Yep. So we'll see how that holds up at A&M and against LSU when they start to knock him around.
Yep.
But I loved everything I saw about Alabama. I feared everything I saw about Alabama. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon, but I'm going to stay on the bandwagon of my team because all I know that right here, right now, as we speak, your team is 1-0, and my team is somehow 1-0.
Correct.
And I say somehow because my team dangerously underestimated a very underrated Tulane team. Trust me, they're going to win a lot more games than they're predicted to win because Michael Pratt, their quarterback, is a gamer.
Yeah.
He was running over people. He was Cam Newtoning my Sooners, and they didn't see it coming. And to my quarterback's credit, after he got off to a shaky start, and I believe he was feeling the heat, he is the favorite to win the Heisman, and #2, and maybe more important, he is at the top of the draft boards to go #1 overall. And he looked like he was crumbling under that pressure because my guy Spencer Rattler bit himself in the butt 2 or 3 times, to your point, and got off to a slow start, but then he calmed down, and he locked back in, and he completed 14 straight passes. And there were some big throws in there because he went 50 yards to Mims, then he went 28 to Mims, he went 22 to Mims, and he went 24 to Hazelwood. They have firepower on the perimeter that I saw with my own eye test flash through the second quarter when they won at 23-0 because they responded, and all of a sudden they're up 37-14 at halftime, and I think, What are they going to score? 70 in the second half? And Spencer Rattler had 213 at halftime, and I thought, well, at least he'll throw for 400.
Right.
And he wound up barely throwing for 300.
Yes.
It was pretty good numbers because he was
30 or 39.
39. It's decent. It sounds okay. But in the second half, they once again dangerously underestimated Tulane, who would not quit.
The defense. You told me the defense was going to be much improved.
It was. And I saw flashes. When they needed to get after Michael Pratt and get him on the ground, they did.
Right.
And they forced him to fumble 3 times or we would have lost the game.
Right.
And they barely managed to contain him on a late third down when he took off running.
Yep.
And it took the safeties to knock him down about a half yard short to save the day.
Right.
Because they recovered an onside, and I'm like, oh, my God. Because they were only a 31-point underdog at Norman in a game, as you point out, that was supposed to be played at Tulane.
Because remember, Skip, the whole week they practiced at the University of Alabama. Coach Saban opened up their indoor practice facility.
I think it was at Birmingham.
Lord.
Yes.
So he let them do that.
Yes.
And so now a game that was supposed to be played in New Orleans, now all of a sudden, I'm playing the road, Skip. I'm the home team, but I'm playing a home game in your stadium.
Okay. So what did my guys do? We got this. We're 31-point favorites over a team that's been all over the map. They got run out of their own city. They're in trouble, and we got this. And we don't got this because Michael Pratt led them twice right down the field, and all of a sudden it's 14-7 Tulane. I'm telling you, Tulane, they hit. They moved. They've got athletes. I was highly impressed with the way they're coached and with how hard they play. Again, I'm making no excuses for my team because my team was off all day long. My team did not take them seriously enough all day long, and it got to be a long, hard day because I was supposed to go somewhere, take Ernestine, and I said, maybe we can leave in the fourth quarter. I told her before the game started because it'll be like 70-14, and you know what happened, and she was not happy. I said, I'm going to lose. It would have been the most humiliating home loss in the history of the program. And
I'm here for it.
Okay, I know.
Now, Bama, Skip, you know, Bama did lose one of the best rushers. He tweaked an ankle on the sack of King. So that's going to see how that pans out. But they can get after your quarterback. The back end, the secondary, is really the strong suit because they bring all of those guys back. They can run to the football. They can fly around, Skip. And Bryce Young is only going to get better, Skip.
I agree.
He's only going to get better.
Well, he is. You want to talk about mature?
And they say they said he's the best of all the guys. They say he has the ability to be the best, and that's saying something.
I don't doubt it. Except if you project him to the next level, it's hard to be 5'11" and be that great at the next level.
Yeah, unless you Russell Wilson, Drew Brees.
Okay, well.
But I look at Rattler. Rattler doesn't look like a big guy either. He doesn't look like a 6'3", 6'4", 240-pound guy.
I think he's really. I think they list him at 6'2", and I think he's 6'1". And I'll go on record. I'll go on record.
6'1".
I still believe. No, I still believe he has a great shot to win the Heisman, just because they're going to put up ridiculous numbers, and I think they can win every game, and that will all help. But I'm on record. I do not love him in pro football. I don't understand how you can put him at the top of the draft boards because I am not sold on Spencer Rattler in the NFL.
He's going to have the same opportunity to win the Heisman as Baker and Kyler. You know why? Because the defense is suspect, and he's going to have to play late. Well, this kid here, you know how they do it, Skip. They get up 50 points, and they're out. They're going to be in a nip-tuck ball game. There are going to be some games 45, 44 that they're going to have to continue to play, and so he's going to have these big numbers, just like, not saying Kyler and Baker didn't deserve it, but because when you're defense and you have to outscore people, this is what you're going to get.
But I told you Baker and Kyler can play in the NFL, and I'm telling you right now, not sure about Spencer Rattler.
Okay. I think that's fair after the performance over the weekend. I'm visiting Oklahoma in 2 weeks, Skip, Nebraska.
Oh, man, Nebraska.
We got this.
Yeah, you got that.
I will do some research. I didn't say anything about Nebraska.
That's not Coach
I will do some
Nebraska.
research about the Sooners and Spencer. I'll get back to you guys about that. Oh, and also Tom Brady still talking about his off-season knee surgery. I feel like he's mentioned this a couple times.
Yeah,
I'll give you the details next.
No mercy, no mercy.